This is the Galaxy Note 9 and today I'm reviewing it. And today's video is gonna be absolutely boring. And it's not because this is a poorly produced video, it's just I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this smartphone. This is an iterative update, but it's a very important one because it finally makes the Galaxy Note 9 the device I've always wanted. I'll talk about that in a second, but to prove to you people out there saying, Matt, you're only saying nice things, it must be a paid review by Samsung, I'm gonna start off this video by saying something negative. Bixby is still bad, it needs a lot of work. In fact, let's just start off with all the bad things I don't like about this device. And trust me, they're very minor, they're very small, they're not gonna make you not buy this device, but they should be said. Bixby, I love the vision behind it. Samsung, I like where you're going with it, but right now it still feels like a very beta product. I say, bro, Bixby, call this person, doesn't do it, or doesn't recognize my voice. It might as well just say back to me, no hablo inglés, because that's exactly what's happening. And why? Why is there a dedicated button for Bixby that doesn't allow me to change it, especially in the state that it's currently in? Let me bind it to something else. Don't force me to go onto the App Store, download another app, go through this weird system of making it work just to get around the button. The second thing I don't like, the fingerprint scanner. It is so much better than the one that's on the Galaxy Note 8. Thank you, Samsung, for putting it below the camera. But I still think it needs to be a little bit lower. My fingers kind of rest naturally around where the Samsung device is, and I imagine most people have the exact same experience. The next thing, the price. This is $1,000, and I know a lot of people out there have major issues with this, and that's fine. If you do, you don't have to buy this phone. There's a lot of great products on the market right now for half the cost. To put this in perspective, you can get something like the OnePlus 6 for $500, maybe a couple of them if you really want to. Or if you live in the Asian market, you have a new phone out there called the Pocophone F1. You can buy 3 of those for the exact same price. But again, you're not gonna get the experience on those phones that you are gonna get on this device. And the last thing, and this is a very, very minor thing, and I'm talking about super minor. There's a little bit of rattling. If you tap on the bottom right hand of the screen where the stylus is, you can hear a little bit of rattling. Now let's talk about the mediocre things, and quite frankly, there's only one thing, and that's the battery life. This year, they put a 4,000 milliamp battery inside of here, saying you're gonna get 2 days of use, but that's not the case. It's significantly better than the Galaxy Note 8, and that's fantastic. I can get a full days of use, no problem, with light to medium use, but as soon as I go heavy on this device, as soon as I start using Google Maps, taking video, maybe shooting some photos, I'll probably have to charge around 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Again, it's in line with other smartphones that have good battery life, but it's nothing compared to something like the P20 Pro where I can go a day and a half. Now it's time for the good things, the things that make this device absolutely awesome. And the first thing is the hardware. From a hardware design, from the things that are inside of here, from the way it's shaped, this is hands down one of the most beautiful smartphones in the world. The 6.4-inch display is absolutely gorgeous. Let me put this in context for you. The Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge that was released 3 years ago still has a better display than 90% of the smartphones that are currently on the market. Samsung has the best smartphone displays you can buy. And this goes for the iPhone X as well because it's using Samsung's higher end OLED panels. Like, take that beautiful 6.4-inch display, combine it with the brand new dual speakers the first time on the Note line, and you have the most ultimate media consumption device. You're gonna enjoy watching movies on this. You're gonna enjoy listening to the sound experience, especially with Dolby Atmos. Now, what even is more crazy than all of this is that the fact that Samsung has created a phone with no notch, with a really high screen to bezel ratio, still has a headphone jack, and has a damn pen inside of the phone. Meanwhile, other manufacturers are taking stuff away, putting notches on their phones, and really changing the way that we use our device when Samsung is still giving it to you all in one simple package. The next thing is the performance. This is obviously the fastest Samsung device I've ever used, and that makes sense. This is the new year, new hardware. It's just the way it's meant to be. But one thing that always comes to question, and this comes in the comment section all the time, is this gonna have the dreaded Samsung lag? Look, I got it with the Galaxy S8. I didn't get it with the Galaxy Note 8 until about 9 to 10 months later. I started noticing it a little bit. The Galaxy S9 Plus has been absolutely solid with its 6 gigabytes of RAM, but in all fairness, it's only been 4 to 5 months. Next is the camera, and I'll be honest with you, this is not the best camera on the smartphone market. It's definitely top 3. I think Samsung did a great job. You have dual cameras exactly like the Galaxy S9 Plus. I'm not gonna waste too much of your time on it. I did a great camera comparison comparing this smartphone to the XZ2 Premium. I think the XZ2 Premium did slightly better, and I still think other cameras out there like the Pixel 2 and even the P20 20 Pro take better pictures, but overall, it's still a very solid camera. The big difference between this device and the S9 Plus is the fact that this one has a new software feature called Optimizer, or optimization enhancements, or using AI basically to boost colors in certain situations like the sky or the grass. And all it does really is boost the contrast ever so slightly. And the last thing, the true thing that makes this device the most unique smartphone in the world is the S Pen. That stylus is what makes a Note a Note. They've added a lot of new features this year. The fact that you can take out the pen, start taking selfies with it, kind of cool. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've been using it a lot right now, but 6 months down the road, am I still gonna take the pen out and take a selfie? Maybe in certain situations where, let's say I'm standing in a far distance and I want the phone to get more of the landscape in, but right now it's a lot of fun. And I'll be honest with you, with the Galaxy Note 8 and even this device, I don't use the pen that often, but I kind of like having it. It's kind of like a comfort food. It's there when I need it, but if I don't need it, it doesn't get in the way. Now, there's a huge group of people, probably 10% of the people that buy this device that swear by the pen, who use it to draw, who use it to sketch, who use it to sign documents. And for them, they run their entire business off this device. Now, before I wrap this up, the last thing I want to talk about is the whole liquid-cooled situation with the Galaxy Note 9. The main reason why it's in this device is for DeX. It's so the ability to connect it to a monitor without having to use a dock that has a fan built in to keep this device cool. Does it make a difference in day-to-day use? Probably not. It might help in certain situations if you're gaming for a long period of time, or if you're running some intensive application. It's still gonna get hot, probably just as hot as every other phone, but the difference is because you have that liquid cooling, it can keep the clock speeds higher than other devices that don't have the liquid cooling in it. So this pretty much wraps up my review of the Galaxy Note 9. There's nothing really that detrimental to say about this device in terms of being negative. It is a solid smartphone, and you know what? It costs $1,000, but name one phone that you're gonna get with an S Pen that has the experience that this one gives to you. So yeah, that wraps up my review of the Galaxy Note 9, my favorite Android smartphone of 2018 so far, and I'll definitely be using this as my daily driver for the next couple of months because let's face it, I'm a tech reviewer. I go through phones faster than I go through underwear. If you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, follow me on Instagram for some behind the scenes, and don't forget to like the video if you actually liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.